Okay, we're going to look briefly at Triptico and how it looks once you've logged in and you've got your home page. So this is mine. You can sign out easily here. I'll show you a bit more detail as we go through the session. You can access tutorials here and the blog here, but which also has really useful ideas for how to use the resources. And there are some simple FAQs here, which is a really, again, useful way of just checking information. Your home page usually comes up with the activity. It will also come up with questions that other people have asked, which can be really useful. If you want to ask a question to the creator of the resources, just type it in and it's really easy to do, and you do get pretty quick responses. Resources, this tab shows you all the different Triptico tools. We're going to look at a few of them today, but certainly not all. We're going to have a look at word magnets. We might, I think if we have time, have a look at the order sorter. It's really simple. We're also going to have a look, possibly quickly, at some of the number activities. There are lots of timers, but they're pretty self-explanatory. There are also some selector and other activities. Probably won't have time for that today, but I would like us to look at a couple of the quizzes. Again, bingo is quite self-explanatory. If we have a chance, I'd like to look at what's the question, because I think it's a really useful resource. And this is obviously a little bit like blockbusters. This is quite a nice resource called Connections, which we'll look at if we have a chance. So we're going to look at a few resources, but this is where you can have a play with everything. When you've saved activities, they go into your saves. And again, while I'm looking at this really quickly, you can create folders, or you can do like I do, create folders and just leave everything hanging around outside in a bit of a mess. You can be a bit more organised than me. It is easy to move things, I just haven't got everything very tidy. What I wanted to show really quickly, so here's a task. This is a word magnets task. I'll just open it so you can see it. Okay, and you can see here we've got Barack Obama, and it's a really simple labelling task. Putting an image in makes it a bit more interesting, it engages learners a bit more. So we'll have a look at how to do that later. But let's say I've got this task and I want to share it. If I want to share it with a colleague, I can put their name in if I know them. So I could do one of my ESOL colleagues, Helen. I could write a message and I can just share that if I want to. You can, go back into it, sorry. You can also share a link now. This is a new feature, so instead of having to put in their name, you can just email a link to a colleague, someone who uses Triptico. And another new activity is publishing it for anybody. So really this is for your learners. And if you click on publish, you get the link. So we'll copy it. Okay. And I'm just going to show you really quickly how that works when you open it up. Just go into a new tab here. And what would happen if you sent this to a learner? They would get this front page. It's showing that I'm logged in. Obviously it wouldn't do that if you weren't a Triptico user. And it comes up, you have to just scroll down and the actual link is at the bottom, and your students can open the activity there. So that would be a really useful reinforcement task, a homework activity, or a pre-session activity just for learners to prepare themselves. Okay, I'm going to stop there for this video and we'll talk through some of the other activities in the session.